friend of mine, Bernadette Boylan, who is from the Children's Bureau, Family Foster Care and Adoption. And it's always so wonderful to see you. You have such a bright, cheery personality, and I love to see you. And then we get involved talking about what we need to talk about, and you almost inevitably bring me to tears. So but it has to be done. Bernadette, you know what? It's one of those things. It's necessary. We have to do it. We have to go there.
Yes.
We have to talk about what we need to talk about. But how are you doing?
I'm doing great. And Tori, thank you for having me back. I really enjoy coming and seeing you and getting a chance to tell people out there about foster care and adoption.
So let's do it. Let's do it. And if after all this, if you're in the car right now, for our listeners in the car, and sometimes they can't write down stuff, obviously, if they're behind the wheel, we will get you at the end of the interview. We will get you phone numbers. We will get you websites. We will get you social media. We'll get you everything you need if indeed this is the direction you want to go.
Right.
So let's start by saying, how many calls a day do you get typically with a child who needs a home?
I would say approximately 30 calls a day. And we usually, more times than not, don't have enough families to say yes, that we can have that child come and join a family for the time that's necessary. We're lucky if maybe we can take 2 of the 30, but we're talking about, it could be a newborn all the way up to a teenager.
So what do you do in that instant? I mean, it must just break your heart when that phone, it just rings. It just rings and you know what's on the other end of that call.
Right.
I mean, how on earth do you handle something like that?
Well, my coworker who normally does our intakes, I actually sit next to her, and I hear her all day, throughout the day, saying, "I'm so sorry, we don't have anything available." So the person on the other line is a representative from the Department of Children and Family Services, because as you know, they are the ones that are, responsible for separating children from their birth families if there's some sort of abuse or neglect or trauma going on. And they call our agency, and they're keeping their fingers crossed that we have a family. Mm-hmm. We have to say no, because if we don't have the family, there's definitely no way the child can join us. So the county is then forced to call other agencies and hope that there's something available.
What's the process? How long? Let's ask that. How long is the process? So if I'm listening in the car right now and I'm hearing you talk about, foster care, adoption, and it's something that, my husband and I, or my family and I have talked about, but what kind of time limit do the process from start to finish? What is that like?
Okay, so, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes. I'm definitely going to give you the information for the first step in all of this, and that is coming to one of our information meetings. That is your kind of answer and question session to ask all the basic info. Once you do the info meeting and you want to move along, it's basically filling out an application and then all the other things that come along with that. But if you are on top of it and you turn in paperwork and there are no holdups, you can be certified in about a 3-month process.
Okay.
And literally the day you get certified, we could be calling you for a child.
That's it. So if you're on it, diligent, make sure your paperwork's in order, make sure everything needs to go where it needs to go. We're looking at 90 days from start to finish.
And again, I say that loosely, but it is something that's not going to take you a whole year. It's not, that goes against what we really want. We want you to get through this process quickly so that we can call you with a child.
Exactly.
And, there's other things involved in the process because people say, well, it sounds like it's so much. Well, like everything, you have to fill out a few forms. You have to get live scanned. You have to be up on your CPR and first aid. You have to be in good health. You do have to have some source of outside income, some form of employment. And your family can look different. It doesn't need to be two people. It can be a single person. You can be a same-sex couple. It doesn't matter as long as you meet those requirements.
Which has changed over the years. That's I commend these agencies now, because that was not the case years ago. You couldn't be single.
No.
You couldn't be, if you were single and you wanted to adopt, you were jumping through hoops and then more hoops, and then maybe a yes, maybe a no. It still wasn't guaranteed.
Exactly. And again, how many single parents are out there? I'm a single parent myself. I think I do a pretty good job. I know there are plenty of single parents, men and women, who can take this journey and provide a family to a child.
Exactly. So I love that we've evolved to this point.
I am too.
But it's still not enough. We
No.
need families.
No, we need families. And if you already have children, whether you've adopted before or you have birth children, it's okay. If you have the space, then you can have more children join your family. And some of these children that come to us don't have siblings, some do. You may be interested in taking more than one child. We have a need for that. People who want to take older children who have 2, 3, maybe only one sibling. But if you have the space, it would be wonderful to be able to keep children together. We know that children are more successful if they can remain with their siblings.
What is it is there anything that is a red flag for you guys, as far as this application process? Is there anything that, that would pop up that, no, is there anything financial? Is there anything, clearly you do some kind of background check, I'm assuming.
Yes.
For lack of a better analogy, TSA does, TSA does, when you want to do a pre-check.
Right.
They do a background check and in order to get you through a little bit faster. Is that kind of something that you guys do?
Yes, the live scanning is just basically a fancy way of saying we're fingerprinting you. And all of that is run through the Department of Justice. We're making sure there isn't anything red flaggish, as we were saying, in your background. Now, if you did something when you were 19 and it was kind of a silly thing, don't worry about it. Nobody is perfect out there. We're not looking at you and going, you have to be, just this perfect individual. But if you have an explanation and you're able to be upfront and discuss it, and it's maybe something we can get an exception for, we're going to pursue that, because who you are at 19 is not necessarily who you are at 39.
Of course.
I
don't want to talk about when I was 19.
Yeah.
It's not a...
Right. So we do a background, and people have to understand, of course we do, because you're going to be responsible for the well-being and safety of this child.
So let's talk about this all-important meeting.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
Because we need families. We need to do this.
Yes, we
do. We need to get serious. Here's the thing. If you're in your car right now and you're listening, if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone, I don't care how deep it goes, let's get the word out.
Yes, please.
And let's get you to this meeting, which is this Saturday at COC, yes?
Yes, this Saturday. I want to say every month we have an information meeting. Now, if you're out here in Santa Clarita, it's going to be at College of the Canyons, and we have it in the Dr. Diane Van Hook University Center, room 222, and it's at 10 a.m., and it is run by one of my social workers that I supervise, and she's going to give you a background of what's involved, but it is literally your opportunity to ask everything and anything you want. No question is silly. Not everybody knows about foster care and adoption. They really don't. They've heard things, and I can tell you most of the time there's probably some kind of myth involved there.
Well, we learn from TV, probably.
Yeah, yes.
We that's our education for the most part, and we watch a sitcom, and that's our education. And sometimes it's just a fraction of really what happens and what you need to do. So give me now websites, phone numbers, give me all the information so our listeners can get to you. We need families, Bernadette.
Yes, we do.
So give me everything you got.
Okay, our website, as you guys know, I'm Children's Bureau, so it's www.all4kids.org, and the 4 is the number 4, ALL 4 childrenskids.org. You can go on our website. It'll tell you about Children's Bureau, our mission, everything. If you want to talk to a live person, you can call Lucy, and she is at 661-208-4212. 208-4212. Ask for Lucy. She is my right-hand gal up there in the office, and she is wonderful and can give you whatever information you need.
And get to that information meeting this Saturday at COC. And we have a link, too, on our website, hometownstation.com. So if you're in the car and you couldn't write any of what Bernadette was saying down, not to worry. We've got at hometownstation.com, we've got a link and all the information to the information meeting this Saturday. Bernadette, it's always, always, always a pleasure. You're welcome anytime. Please come back and see me.
I appreciate it, Tori. Thank you so much. And please, everybody, if you can make it, please do. There's kids out there waiting.